Hi guys, welcome to this last video on vectors. So just a really important feature, important fact about vectors which I wanted to highlight. If we've got, I've just drawn two out here, I've got vector A and three lots of vector A. So a vector which is 3 times the length of A. So the magnitude is obviously 3 times bigger here, but it's going in the same direction, they're parallel. I could go further, hopefully that's quite an obvious example, but if I had a vector which was something like A plus B, I could say, well, 2 lots of A plus B, again, is going to be in the same direction, it's going to be parallel. I could also say half of A plus B is going to be going in the same direction, just with a different magnitude, it will be parallel. So if one vector is a multiple of another, they are going to be parallel vectors. What I'm going to do then is just go through an example of a question which could come from an exam. This is 5 marks in total. The first mark is pretty straightforward and looks at stuff we've done in our previous video. So we are being asked to express A to B in terms of little a and little b, they're in bold. So I'm wanting to go from A to B. So I know to go from O to A would be 3A. I'm not going to want to, but I'm going to want to start with A and going this direction. So straight away I know I'm going to be starting off with minus 3A. Okay, so 3A would take me there, minus 3A would take me there. And then I'm just going to want to add on 6B. Add on that vector there, 6B. So that will be 1 mark secured. Let's just think about walking along those paths. Which paths can I walk along? Okay, then it turns into a bit more of a horrible question. So x is the point on AB such that A to AX to XB is 1 to 2. So what that is saying is I've got 1 part here and 2 parts of my distance here. So altogether there are 3 parts. So 1/3 of the distance is here, 2/3 of that distance is in there. Or 1/3 of the vector from A to B is in here, 2/3 of the vector A to B is here. Okay, so the only other bit of information we are given is that the vector taking us from B to Y is 5A minus B. So we are being asked to prove that the vector O to X is 2/5 the vector O to Y. What I'm going to do then, because I think this is actually the more straightforward one to work out, is calculate what vector O to Y will be. So I want to start at O and finish at Y. So I'm going to go up here and then across. So I'm going to say I'm going to have 6B, taking me from O to B, and then add on 5A minus B. That is going to give me 5A plus 5B. Okay, just for ease, I'm going to write out in a different form 5 lots of A plus B. It might come in handy later. So either of those forms could be useful. I'm not sure myself yet which one is going to be more helpful. So if I wanted to go from O to Y, I'd have to apply 5 lots of A and 5 lots of B. So the next thing I need to think about then is what would my vector O to X be? So a couple of ways I could get there. I think there's one which is a little bit more obvious than the other. So I could go up, apply vector 6B, and then 2/3 of the vector from B to A. So I'd be having to work out a new vector and find 2/3 of it. Let's try to keep that to a minimum. let's also try and keep the distance as short as possible. It would work out, it's just you'd have to do a little bit of algebra to cancel. So instead of doing that, I could go from O to A and A to X. So vector O to X is the same as going from O to A and then going from A to X. So vector O to A, that's given to us in the question. Nice and easy, it's 3A. Vector A to X, well, I know A to B is minus 3A plus 6B. And I know A to X is 1/3 of that distance. So A to X is actually going to be 1/3 of the vector from A to B. So the vector from A to B is minus 3A plus 6B. Okay, so I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit. So I'm still going to have 3A. 1/3 of minus 3A will be minus A, and 1/3 of 6B will be 2B. 3A take away A is 2A, and then I've just got that 2B on the end. So what I'm going to do is call that 2 brackets A plus B. So I'm just getting lots and lots of little facts together here and putting them, just putting them all together. Even if you're not going to get a final answer here, I reckon I've probably picked up 3 marks out of 4, which isn't bad going, I'd say, in the 5 minutes I've been doing this question. So I know that vector O to Y is 5 brackets A plus B. I know vector O to X is 2 brackets A plus B. Let's think about what the question is asking. So if I just have a look at my 2 numbers, hopefully we can see there is a multiple going on. So there's a few different ways just to kind of finish this question off. So if I, what I think would be quite nice is to say, well, what is 2/5 of OY? Well, I know that OY is 5 brackets A plus B, so it's going to be 2/5 of 5, which is just going to be 2A plus B. So if 2/5 of OY is 2A plus B, and O to X is 2A plus B, I can see 2/5 of OY is equal to the vector taking me from O to X. Okay, so there's a few different ways you could finish that off. You could be really formal, but I think that is actually good enough. You've shown the examiner you know exactly what you're doing, and you would pick up marks. So I like that question because there's lots of different skills in there. Quite often they will use a ratio. They will want you to be using bits that you've worked out in previous parts of the question. They'll want you to be going in opposite directions. There's all sorts they could ask you to do. But don't be under any illusions, guys. Vectors are really tricky. Starts off quite nicely where you're just adding some basic numbers together, and then it goes at 100 miles per hour. So just try to be aiming to pick up marks when you can, and it could be the difference between a 4 and a 5, 5 and a 6, whatever. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I will be uploading some more shortly.